And I know there's lots of unhappiness. The story of Anthony Bourdain came across the airwaves a couple of weeks ago, and I'll always talk very gently and carefully about this subject, very carefully and warily almost on the radio, lest any word is misunderstood. Don't let the devil twist anything. But it's very clear to me that if happiness could have been found in fame, travel, and riches, then Anthony Bourdain would have had it. The sad final verdict on his life shows that there is more to life than all those things. Most of you know I lost my father to suicide, and you know it's 40 years ago, can hardly believe it, 1978. And I remember when I'd heard my mum say, "I'm afraid Daddy's dead," the first thought in my mind was, that's going to be a long, long time, and sometimes you can be a long time bereaved. You know, my sister posted a picture on social media yesterday. My girls picked it up and they texted me the picture, and it's a picture I'd never seen of my dad. I think I might have been with him that particular day. I think I remember that day, but he's on the golf course, wearing flares, by the way, it was 1978, with this Scottish hat that he'd got from a Pro-Am in St. Andrews. And Dad always had this great big golf bag. It was like the coolest golf bag you'd ever seen. And I inherited the bag. I couldn't play with those clubs for 5 years after he died. But it always, on Father's Day, of course, I think about him and honor him. And there were multiple factors, and I don't know which order. Alcohol, depression, finances, just circumstances. You never really know which order it is. It can always be rather jumbled up. But I think what's often underestimated is that I think my dad kind of had like an existential despair. In other words, he had a lot of things. He did have a family. He had a lot going for him. He was a very smart, witty man. But you know something? There is more to life than just this earth. We need God in our lives. And I'd only known the Lord for 28 days, and my regret is that I wasn't able to personally share the good news of Jesus with him. I do know that he heard Billy Graham preach in the 1950s, so I'm thankful that he heard the gospel preached at least once, but that is a great regret, and I think that stays with me, that I want to tell as many people as possible about Jesus. We never know what struggle someone is going through, but I just want to plead with you, friend, just addressing this subject because I know it's been very prevalent in the culture right now, that the devil deals in a lot of lies. The devil in verse 1 is the one behind the counsel of the wicked and the poor advice of the sinful. And he tries to persuade us that people would be better off without you, and it simply isn't true. There's another lie. The devil tries to say this will deal with the pain. No, it doesn't deal with the pain. It just passes it on to the next generations, though I want to testify that Jesus Christ can heal our hearts. Now, the Christian life is a difficult pathway. David was on the run. Paul was in a prison cell, and Jesus was nailed to the cross. But I tell you, friends, though life can be tough, the greatest happiness we will ever find is in Jesus Christ. And I want to be that happy man. I want to pass on a baton to the next generation to say you can find peace and contentment in Jesus Christ. Don't listen to those voices of condemnation. Don't listen to those voices, that counsel of the wicked that say there is no hope. Let me tell you, there is hope in Jesus Christ. Trust him today. Put your trust in him, and he will give you the breath that you need.